Hi friends, how are you all? So today we are going to discuss some of the important topic under the ethics of nursing. The last couple of weeks we are continuously doing the videos about the first part of NLSRN or other kind of comprehensive exam is that the safe and effective care environment. Under that, the ethics in nursing, that is one of the very important topic, and most of the students have confusion in some of the terms which is comes under ethics of nursing. That's why we are continuously discussing most of the important topics. So today our topic is defamation, and the another one is the false imprisonment. Only two topics we'll discuss because I don't want it to make any confusion. If we'll discuss all these topics together at the end, you might be get overwhelmed and you don't know what this term and what that term indicate, and why in this scenario this answer will come as a legal term. So I don't want such kind of confusion. So now we will move to the topic defamation. What is the meaning of defamation? Like, it's a statement or a situation like something is not true. Like a person, she's making a false idea or false statement about a person or about a situation or about a group of people. And that is the common meaning when you think about defamation. So in the nursing ethics, the defamation is making false statements about the person in writing or orally that leads to the destruction of a person's reputation. Imagine now you or I am, we are working as a registered nurse in a healthcare setting, and I might be a team leader, or I might be a charge nurse or a head nurse, and I have been managing and I have been coordinating all the works in my shift. And one day one of my colleagues, she might be have some kind of misconcepts, or she might be a little bit some kind of issues between that colleague and me, and she is spreading some bad statements or some false statement about me to another person, to a third person. So what does it happen? Definitely that third person, she might believe that, because how she is expressing or how she is sharing that false statement like a fact. Definitely the third person, she will believe. Maybe the third person, she don't have much idea about me. She know an average, okay, she's a charge nurse, so she's a team leader, she's doing everything and she's good. But the second nurse, she's talking to the third nurse about something about me that might be some of my personal life scenarios or some of the unprofessional matters. What will happen? That third person, she will tell to the fourth person, and finally all my colleagues and all our department will came to know that one, and most of them believe, and that will how it will affect. Definitely that is going to destruct my image and destruct my reputation in that particular clinic or the hospital. That is happening in defamation. When we are thinking about nursing ethics, the defamation means it can happen in two ways. One is by spreading messages orally or showing some justice. I might be doing some procedure, and the second person, she is showing by eyes to that third person, see how she's doing, see her the way of her facial expression, see how she's typing or something like she's telling. That is not true. But the way the second person is talking against me or about me, that is like a fact. So most of the circumstances, the third person or the fourth person who will listen, she might believe or he might believe. So when we say a person is talking or making a false statement by orally or justice, that we call as slander. See the word slander. So S indicates speaking. By orally or by speaking, you are you're speaking some false statement about other person to a third or fourth person, to a group. So that is called slander. So what is the word if we will make some kind of a false story or false statement by writing? You know, in while we are going traveling or somewhere, you might have seen that some people, they will write some bad statement about some of the leaders or some other society person. So they are making false statement and representing as a fact by writing. That is called libel. the word is libel. See, libel, like in our language we'll tell lipi, like the writing method, that is called libel. So defamation is a situation or a scenario. A nurse, she is making a false statement against another person to a third person as representing as a fact. So the third person is going to believe that, and that is going to affect the other person's reputation. It can be happen in two ways. Either it is slander by speaking, or either it is libel, that is called a writing statement, false statement. So that is called a defamation. I hope you clear what is the meaning of defamation and what are the two terms related to defamation, or the two type of defamation, slander and libel. Okay, now we will move to false imprisonment. This is also one of the main legal term in ethics nursing. This it has been happening in the clinical settings from long years back. But when our nurses, we know about this and this not happen, whatever the circumstances or the client, whatever he is doing or whatever the client she is doing, these protocols we should not violate. If we violate, we are answerable to that. We might have to go for the root cause analysis, because I am not the right person to do such kind of activities. While I am practicing, while I am working as a licensed person, I have to follow certain rules and regulations in any of the country, or even I'm an international person, or I'm a national, I'm working as in my own nation, whatever it is. We have to follow all these rules which comes under ethics in nursing. So false imprisonment. What it means false imprisonment? See, in the word prison, like you will get an idea. The person who will go to the prison might be he did something. So here it's called false imprisonment, which means when a nurse or a healthcare professional, she is restraining, or she's detaining, or she's restricting a client freedom of movement, and that is not correct. She is doing false. So she does not, or the nurse or the healthcare profession does not have the right to restrain or detaining or the freedom of movement of that particular client. There might be some scenarios, or there might be some circumstances that might not be that much good. She might be compelled to do, even though she does not have the right to do. She should not do. For example, a nurse, she is working in an emergency or in a very crowded medical department, and she might have the census might be 30 or 40, and all the beds are occupied, and they don't have enough staffs, and one patient, she might be she want to somebody for assistance for walking, or and nobody came, and she might be using some abusive words or what, and the nurse finally, she fed up, and she will go to that room, she will close the light, she will close the door from outside, and she will come out. What is it? It's wrong. Exactly what the nurse or the healthcare professional did in this scenario, it's wrong. This nurse, she doesn't have the client to block, or she doesn't have the client to close the door and restrain that particular client in that room. No. Whatever the situation, she might be busy, she have many other situations, but she cannot do. She should try to convince that client. She should try to approach in another way. This is not the right way, or this is not the thing that she should do in this scenario. So this is called false imprisonment. I would recommend to all of you to study these kind of legal terms by when we are listening that word. From that meaning, that time itself, you should understand that meaning. See, here I told false imprisonment. See here, the patient or the client, she should not be imprisoned, she should not be restrained. That if nurse she is doing, that is false. That is called a false imprisonment. I hope you understand this one. So for make it little more clear, we'll practice one or two questions. We'll go to the question section. So the first question: the nurse restrains a client in a locked room for 3 hours until the client acknowledges who started a fight in the group room last evening. the nurse behavior constitutes the what are the terms under the choices. So here the question is asked: the nurse restrains a client in a locked room for 3 hours until the client acknowledges who started a fight in the group room last evening. So what kind of thing or the action the nurse has did? What was the false things happened from the nurse? That is called here. See, in this situation, maybe the last day the 3 or 4 patients in that room and they were fighting, and the nurse told who all of you should say that who is the one should start this fighting. If nobody will accept, I am going to close the room. And she closed the room for 3 hours. What she did, she should not do. So here the options are: first one is false imprisonment, and the second one is the duty of care, and the third one is standard of care practice, and the fourth one is the contract of patient care. So here you see four options. So out of that, which is the correct option? I'm sure by this time you got the answer. Of course, the first one is the answer: false imprisonment. She restrained the patient in the room for 3 hours. That she should not do. She's supposed not to do that one. So that is called false imprisonment. We'll see what are the other options. Duty of care. No, that is not the duty. That is not the way she should do her duty. And next one, standard of care practice. Did she follow the standard of care practice? No, she didn't follow. Then the contract of care. No, it is nothing related to the contract of care. That word does not have any connection to this particular scenario. So here the answer is called false imprisonment. I'll see the next question. Nursing staff members are sitting in the lounge taking their morning break. Okay, some of the nurses they are sitting in the lounge and they are taking their morning break. A nursing assistant tells the group that she thinks that the unit secretary has acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, and proceed to tell the nursing staff that the secretary probably contracted this disease from her husband, who is supposedly a drug addict. Which legal tort has the nursing assistant violated? Well, from the word itself you understand violated, which means that she did something wrong. So here we are looking for a wrong statement or wrong option. See, the scenario is like this. The nursing staff, she is sitting with her all other colleagues, and she is talking to her ward secretary that she is have AIDS, and that might be she get from her husband because he is a drug addict, and she is presenting this as a very factual story to the other colleagues. Definitely, or might be 99%, those colleagues, they might be believe this. What happened? Or will look that secretary in that way, that is going to destruct her reputation. So here we will see what are the options. The first option is libel, and the second option is slander, and the third option is assault, and the fourth option is negligence. We'll see one by one what is it. What do you mean the negligence? We already studied that. She fails to do something. In the scenario, the nurse or the nursing assistant, she didn't fails to do anything. So remove, eliminate that option. Then the another one, assault. Did she threaten? No, she didn't threaten. She is not doing something with the client. She was talking with her colleagues. So eliminate. Then the another one, slander. So what is the meaning of slander? Yes, making defamation or making false statement about other healthcare professional or other person to a third person, to a group of other people. Yes, this is called slander. In this scenario, if the nursing assistant, she was talking to her colleague about the ward secretary's disease condition, and she is presenting as a fact. So the answer is slander. And we have one more option, that is libel. You know that is by writing. In this scenario, the nursing, she is not writing anything. She is only sharing that news by words or by speaking. So here the answer is slander. How does it? Did you understand what is the difference between slander, libel, and how a false imprisonment hand cap happen in the clinical settings. So when you are getting a question, how the scenario will present, and in what scenario will go to a false imprisonment, in what scenario it will go to a negligence, or what scenario is connected to libel. I hope you understand these topics, and if you have any doubts, you have any concerns, or would you like to discuss much more questions about these topics, please mention in the comment box, and I will prepare more questions, and I will try to clarify your concerns and doubt. So this is for today. Be happy, study well, and always put your complete effort to achieve the dream, whatever it is. Even you don't want to write any kind of comprehensive exam, or you might be a person who would like to work near to your house or hometown, whatever it is, always put your effort to update your knowledge. So this is for today. Take care. Bye.